Top of the morning, top of the night, whatever the case may be. My name's Ben Matthews, aka Ben Time Traveler. I am who I say I am. Your government with inside the government ain't. Trust me on this, man. I know these things. I've been trying to tell you for 13 years, man. But now you can pull back the curtain and see the whole shit and caboodle of these pieces of crap, man. But now you know who the owls are, man. Who the players are. 0%, man. 0% coverage from almost all the mainstream news, all except for one news channel, about the corruption of the Biden family. 0%. Also, 0% of anybody ever being arrested or held liable for all their crimes against the people of the United States of America, man. Which, by the way, man, some of the shit they're doing is actually literally an act of war against each and every one of you, man. I don't know. I ain't never consented to no mind control. I ain't never consented to any geoengineering and shit above my head and shit. I never consented to anything, man. I don't know what people expect to wake up the next day and things change and there's a different outcome to all this. No, man. They're corrupt, man. Politicians, elite, they are corrupt, man, and they should be held liable for their crimes and shit. I said this yesterday when I was live, man, about, like, for instance, Bill Gates, man. He should be held liable for his crime against children. You know what? His wife should be held liable, man, for taking the money and shutting her mouth and not standing up for the children that were abused. She's just as bad, man. Little money whore, man. And when they do get too close, what do, man? They just kill you, man. They just eliminate you, terminate you, man, without any remorse, thought, or anything, man. Just assassinate your ass, man. Well, they just like to call it terminate, delete. I mean, they're coming at you every which way, man, through the internet, to your phones, to your TVs, to your refrigerators, to your dishwashers, to, I'm putting this system in the house. It's to protect me and guard my family, and it literally being used against you, man. Listening to you, looking at you, shit, man. Fucking people have them cameras all up in their house, all over the place, man. You're crazy, man. They're coming at you every which way, man. Destroying this country from within and shit. And yeah, I'm ticked off, man. I'm pissed off. It I sit there and people sit there and they wait for these so-called politicians to stand up for each and every one of you and protect your rights and more every freaking day, more and more of your rights are being taken away, man. You know, and the people are supposed to be representing you, ain't representing you, and you know socialism's only 1 inch away from communism. I don't give a shit how you look at it, man. This country wasn't founded on that, man. It was on God. And how quickly they attack you if you believe in God, man. Take me for instance. I don't come out here and much and talk about the Lord Jesus Christ, the King of Kings. I throw him in the sentence here and there. I should. We all should. But people sit there and they attack me and say, "Oh, you ain't that of God and God's army." You look at you, smoke weed, you do this, you do that. We all fall short of the glory of God. I ain't perfect. They ain't never going to be perfect, man. And just like I said yesterday, we're all we're born, and we are the chosen ones, man, because we're born into this time of the technology. If you're in your 60s and shit, you 50s, 60s, you're born into this, man. You're the chosen ones, man. There's no question about it. God even, he even said that. He gave visions to people, man, to share with us in the future, And maybe they're visions you can't understand because they didn't know how to describe certain things like tanks and jets and nuclear weapons. And, you know, so they described them the best way they could. Maybe you can't understand what they're describing. Even your ancient ancestors, man, they're describing the aircrafts in the sky and shit, you know, and spraying back then, literally geoengineering back then, before there was even planes, before there was even a thought of planes. But here's your ancient ancestors. They're not only drawing them on cave walls and on stones, and they're making artifacts of these things and saying, here, look, this is what we're seeing. They didn't have an understanding what technology was. But boy, they described it, man, and people just can't grasp what they were telling you. The same with the Lord Jesus Christ, King of Kings, man. He gave visions to people, man, and people can't understand the visions totally, man, because they could only describe it the best way they could back then. But here we are today, man. I know what the final outcome is, and like I said yesterday, I don't fear it because I know what's been promised to each and every one of us to believe in God. You know, our judgment comes, man. We'll have to answer to what may be sinful. In the light in the eyes of the Lord Jesus Christ. Maybe marijuana, man. Maybe it's sinful in Him. He's well, no. And He say, hey, I created it for you. I mean, all this was created for us, man, to be used one way or another. But it was nature that was created. The plants, the vegetation, the vegetables, the fruits. It was the water. It was nature that God created, man. The pureness of it all. Like I said, you were happy being gatherers of nuts, wheats, grasses, and grains, and fruits and vegetables. That's the way God designed the human species, man. He didn't design it for me to be having communications with you on this mark of the beast device. And when that conversation was had between Lucifer and God, giving control of the earth to Lucifer, God knew where this was going to lead because He's God, and he created all this perfect the first time, and like I said, we were born into this. We were born into to sitting in the car and driving to point A to point B. That's where we were born in that point in time. And bless us, man, that we're born at the end of times, man. We're chosen ones, man, because if you do believe in God, man, the things He promised, you're going to receive, man. And those that don't believe in God, well, we try to help them. We try to help them and turn towards that, especially towards this final destination of the human species, man. We try to turn towards them, to have them turn towards God. You know, people think that you got to walk that perfectly Amish life, you should. You should be living off the land. You should be living off what God gave you. You should be not living off the creation of the evilness, electricity and, the gas, the oil. You should be living off what God gave us, man. But God did give us oil, but man creates and creates and creates and creates. And man always creates, unfortunately, for the worst, never for the best. Very seldom, man. All throughout time. Nothing was really ever created for the best of the human species to better you along in society. It's always the money factor of things. You know, look, everything's always tied into the money factor of things. Automobiles, your refrigerators, your stoves, your house, your gas, your electric, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This list goes on and on and on because it's supposed to be endless, man. You're supposed to be generating them funds towards all their BS, man. But the way God created you, and if we were living the way we should be living, you know, out in the middle of nowhere by ourselves and family or whatnot, you know, right, living off the land, doing what we're supposed to be doing. But see, it's hard. It's hard that because the time you and God understood this because the time you live in, like I said, you were born into the time you live in. It's just an everyday thing that you were just accustomed to, but really just your ancestors brainwashing from an earlier stage into the point in time that you're at now. But you were born into it, you know. You just can't. You have to go to the grocery store now, you know. And how do you get to the grocery store? You know, point at hand. But the technology part of it, you know, the mark of the beast 666, you know, is that of man. It's that of man, man. Man is generating all the evilness, man. You know, Lucifer don't have to do much, man. I mean, they they sprayed today. I don't even know why I'm be talking about it. You know, I mean, it's not even our discussion anymore. You get checked and called a liar and shit. You know, because it is an act of war against you because you never consented to them ever spraying anything over your head. You know, I didn't. I know you didn't. But they sprayed today. You know, it's a nice sunny day. It's going to be a nice sunny day and shit, man. You know, now it's all that milky, white, hazy crap in the sky. You know, dimming down the sun, man. But you know, they call you a liar and shit. You know, because you're not consenting to it, man. You know, you're not consenting to any so-called experiments or any of that shit above your head and shit, man. Nor should you ever consent to any of that crap. But you sit there at 0%, man. I mean, 0% coverage of the Biden bullshit on mainstream news. And you wonder who your enemy is. You wonder, you sit there and everybody looks at the deep state, the FBI, CIA, politicians, you know, blah blah blah. But you know, fucking mainstream news, they're infiltrated, man. They're they're infiltrated, and they're mind controlling the lefties out there. Did you see Trump's debate last night, man, on CNN? He tore him up, man. You know, he tore that woman up. But yet, that's all you'll see on all their news channels of how wrong he was and how evil he is and blah blah blah. Well, that ain't what I seen. That ain't what I watched yesterday. I watched the man sit there and carried himself with. He fought back, man. He was being Donald Trump, man. He wasn't taking the bullshit from her, man. Now, they can't win with Biden. We all know this, man. I was sitting there, I'm watching, and I'm listening to Democrats, man, that voted for Joe Biden, and they're literally saying they were not going to vote for him again. Anybody but. Anybody but him. And then you listen to him and Democrats and people on the left. And you know what? Trump's policies weren't that bad. We were doing better in the economy, and life was just better. Yeah. Well, now they're waking up. Well, go back to your woke shit, man. Drink your Bud Light, man. Cause see, I don't care if you're black, white, brown, yellow, whatever, man. If you're low income, man, you're poor like me and shit. Don't matter the color of your skin. It don't matter at all. But my brothers and sisters in the hood, they're actually understanding now that all these illegal aliens coming into this country are getting all this free shit: driver's license, housing, food, medical. You get to go anywhere in the United States they want to be to go to. Be given on a bus and shit, man. Put up in some nice motels, man. Just living it up, man. Why my brothers and sisters that are poor in the hoods and shit, they're struggling. They're struggling because the jobs ain't being created. The opportunity ain't there. And I understand that. I said this before, man. I understand why people do what people do sometimes, man, because there ain't no opportunity shit, man. I mean, you can get up out of the hood, you can move on and shit, man, and make a better life for yourself, man. It's going to be hard and shit, but you can do it. But nonetheless, these things ain't offered to people in low income parts of the United States of America. And it's by design. It's by design to keep these people dependent of the government shit, man. Here, the government's feeding you, man. Here's your food stamps. The government's giving you some money. Here's your check, man. The government's gonna cover your doctor bills. Here. Well, a lot of these people don't want that crap, man. But they ain't got the opportunity, man, because they where they live and shit, man. And it's by design and shit. See, that racist shit ain't working out too much, man. It's not working out too much lately for them, man. People are seeing past that bullshit, man. Because people, like I said, people that are living in the hood and shit, and it don't matter the color of your skin, man. There's poor white people living in the hood, okay? There's a beautiful melting pot of people living in the hood, okay? Don't matter the color of your skin. I think people are realizing, man, that they ain't getting the opportunity. It ain't so much about, like I said, it ain't so much about the free shit. It's about the opportunity, man. Schooling, good schooling, fucking job opportunity. I mean, like job training and shit, man. Say through the prison systems all through the United States of America. They send you to prison and shit for stupid shit, man. And they don't give you no opportunity. They don't give you no job training while you're in prison, man. Oh, you go get your GEDs. Who gives a shit, man? How about some job training, man? Teach somebody how to work on a fucking air conditioner. Teach somebody how to work on cars. Teach somebody a trade and shit, man. A weld or whatnot, They sit there and you send them to prison and shit, man. And all you're doing is mixing him with like murderers and killers and thieves and crooks and scan artists and shit. What's he learn from that? He learns their trades and shit. Well, you don't want them to learn their trades like that. You want them to learn a good trade, man. Like, working on an air conditioner, working on fucking a car or whatnot, man. Well, I'll give you a minute, man. I used to work for a garbage company years ago, man. Yeah, I used to like working for as a garbage collector. I used to ride out the back of the truck. Fall was the best time though. It wasn't hot, it wasn't cold. Summertime it gets hotter and shit, stinky, and wintertime I hated the wintertime. Be honest with you though. But anyway, get back on track. I can't believe that fucking what the Democrats are gonna do, man. Fucking Harris and shit, man. See, Biden got a way out. In case y'all don't understand, man. I tried to say this before and shit, man. And I explained it and how he gets his outs, man. Because you can't convict somebody with old timers, late stages of dementia or whatnot. You can't convict the person because the person's brain ain't there, man. His mind ain't there. How are you gonna convict somebody? He played that card. Boom. Okay. He steps down. He resigns in a certain period of time. Shit. After he does more damage, right? Harris moves in and shit. Boom, bam, bing. He'll never make it to the election, man. He'll never make it election time, man. Never. And that's why you now you notice more and more often and shit, man. You watch because you gotta watch your enemies and shit, man. You gotta sit there and watch some of the news channels and shit. But if you pay attention, you'll notice on the news channels are propping up Harris, man, the vice president. Like she's all this and that, man. Blah, blah. Look what she did here. Look what she did there. Yeah, whatever, man. She ain't done shit, man. Border czar and shit. I, why you gonna give somebody a title and shit, man? I mean, if they ain't gonna literally live up to that title you give them, I'm butt plug, Buddha plug. It's just too many Bud Light drinking people out there in fucking Obama administration, man. I'm telling you, man. There's too many of them, shit, man. Trying to fuck. See, that's what I mean. I don't care what you are, man. Just don't push that shit on me and brush up against me with that shit, man. But live your life the way you are, man. I'll even stick up for you and shit, man, because you have the right to live your life you want any way you want, shit. And nobody's got a right to tell you that. But you ain't got a right to try to change me into believing, what you are. That's okay for some children to be taught that shit, man. You let the parents teach your children. And anyway, if you're a parent, shit, man, you know at an early age your child's gay or not, man. Simple and fact, man. You know, man. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you, shit, man. You let your child live. You let your child grow up to be who they're gonna be. You know. You don't sit there and try to bring that shit, man. And because to me, man, that's crossing the line, man. When teachers and shit, man, try to fucking tell you what your child is, tell you what your child's feeling inside and emotions, and no, that ain't their place, man. The child lives with you and shit, man. And you as a parent should step up anyway and shit, man. And deal with the situation right off Jump Street. Support, give love. You know, a lot of them reach out, man, and they're all flamboyant and shit, man. Wearing red dresses and being loud and shit, man. Picking fucking fights with their flamboyantness. Like, hey, look at me, man. I'm special. You know, that's the whole thing right there, man. Just go about your business, man. You don't have to be flamboyant. I mean, they subpoenaed FBI for fucking documents and ain't even fucking classified. And FBI just said, fuck you, man. We ain't giving them to you. I mean, who's to fight the system, man? Who's, like I said yesterday, who's going to arrest who, man? They're all, you know, are you, even if you are the lower level fucking branch of any agency, FBI, CIA, whatever, man, even your lower, and your boss is at the top. The boss is the one that's fucking corrupt as all get up and shit, man. You think the people that are just lower than them just fucking said we had enough of this shit, man? This ain't how it's supposed to work, man. You know, call them out for that. That's, you know, that's the only way that you as individuals are gonna get any of your freedom back and shit, man. If that happens, because they're not gonna arrest each other, you know. You're not going to see the head of the CIA arresting the head of the FBI, or the head of the FBI arresting, you know, vice versa. You're not going to see nobody arrest anybody and shit, man. Because, you know, they're all at the top. All of them at the top and shit are all fucking the bad ones, man. They're corrupt. They're destroying this country from within. I know who the enemy is. Not only is mainstream news fucking Dow enemy and shit, you can see who the enemies are, man. Time and time again, you know, these people, you know, and history is going to show this, man. History will show these people, man, that they were corrupted and fucking destroying this country from within, man, to try to turn it towards a communist fucking country and shit, for the Chinese government and shit, man. Fuck China. But, you know, who's going to stop China's fucking war machine now and shit, man? Fuck. Our military, they are bad, though. They are badass, man. Just the fucking leaders in our military are fucking Bud Light drinkers, man. You know, that's a bitch, man. The people that are fucking controlling our militaries and shit, man, are Bud Light drinkers. Well, how about, you know, there's other generals and shit ranking out there and shit. The same with them, man. Enough's the fucking enough, right? You know what? They're the ones that got to call it out for what it is. You know, your average fucking Joe out here, Joe the plumber and shit, you get together and shit and you voice and yell and scream and whoop and holler, nothing happens and shit, man. Right? And if you try to plan some kind of fucking event that to make it peaceful and shit, but demonstrate and shit, that don't work because they get infiltrated, man. You know, look at it time and time again. Your militias and shit all got infiltrated and shit, man. Where are these leaders in prison and shit and going to prison and shit, man? Time and time again, man. January 6th, you know, infiltrated and shit, man. Orchestrated, man. I mean, you see it over and over and over. Even on the left side and shit, man. In the summer of hate and shit, man. And burning down their cities and towns and shit. All that was orchestrated, man. You know, by the government and shit, man. Now, are you gonna sit there and you're gonna get together and let's go to let's go in front of the FBI headquarters and fucking wherever and shit, man, whatever field fucking office, you know, and protest peacefully though, but protest. Well, you know, like all they gonna do is take your pictures and video cards you and shit, man, and fucking put you on the list, man. You know, the next thing you know, your fucking phone's starting to act funny, your computer's acting funny and shit, man. Even your dog starts acting funny and shit. You know, you don't understand what's going on and shit, man. How come some days you get mail and other days you don't? You don't understand why you're getting all these strange fucking phone calls and shit, man. You know, next thing you know, somebody calls you up on your phone and shit, man, says, quit calling my wife's fucking phone. I'll fucking slice your throat. You say, I ain't calling your wife's fucking phone. I don't even know who you are. Yeah, you're calling from this number and shit, you know. You know, I realized, you know, that somebody took my fucking number, man, and spoofed it out and shit, man, was calling somebody else and fucking being stupid and shit. I got it right away and shit, man. And I let my phone company know about it too, say how fucking wrong it is, man. You're not protecting me and shit like that, but no more. But yeah, you know, I fucking, you know, I done lived it and done seen it. I'd watched them shoot a man, man. Killed him. How many guns and lasers and shit I had fucking pointed at me at one time and shit, man. Sitting in a vehicle and shit, man, having them fucking point a long fucking gun at you and shit while you're sitting in the vehicle, literally pointing it down at you and shit, man. You know? Sitting in a vehicle and shit, man, and having, I'm not exaggerating or bullshitting you, man. 20 different fucking red laser beams, lights coming in and the fucking all over the vehicle and shit, man, hitting everybody and shit, man. You know, I've been there. I done this, man. I done sat there and watched the fucking two fucking federal agents standing outside a motel room with my fucking window cracked open and listening to them talk about what the fuck they're gonna do. Should have seen their face when I opened the door. Stood out and smoked a joint. Yeah, you know, I see Phoenix, Arizona, man, cleaning out Tent City and shit down there, man, cleaning it up. Where them people go now, man? You know, they treat them people, homeless people, like they're fucking wildcats and shit, man. Tear down an abandoned house and shit. And all the cats are just dispersed through through the neighborhood and shit. No, they don't just disperse through the neighborhood. They die, man. They have a hard time defending for themselves because where they're at was fucking stationary, man. People would come along and give them food. They had shelter and shit. Now you just tear down their shelter and fucking, what happens the same with homeless and shit. And the reason I bring that up is because that was one of my things for fucking homeless vets and shit. Still is. I got so much respect, man. But to sit there and you stand up for something, man, that you believe in shit, man, about your homeless vets and shit, man, not getting the right medical treatment, shit, not getting the right fucking housing and shit, man. And it's still to this day, some fucking 13 years since I've been here and shit, man. It's not changing at all and shit, man. It's still the same bullshit, man. Because they rather focus on other fucking bullshit, man, instead of focusing on mental health and the truth and the facts, man. Helping these people, man. Oh, let's just tear down all the mental health hospitals and shit and build more prisons, man. We'll send them to prison. When they don't even send them to prison anymore. I don't know how some people are living in them big fucking nasty ass zoos, man. They call fucking sanctuary cities. I don't really know how you living, man. And just think now, man, that all these illegal aliens, because that's what they are, man. They're coming here illegally. All gonna be dispersed in fucking your back in the fucking woods, man. Right in your backyard. Don't think it ain't gonna happen and shit, man. And why not, man? Fucking American values are the fucking laziness anymore and shit, man. There ain't no value in working hard to fucking get to the end and shit. Fucking been brainwashed into believing that it's fucking easy road and shit. 4 work days and fucking men able to go in girls' fucking showers and shit, man. And it's funny, man. Not to me, but it's funny that God talked about all that, man. Talked about it. Maybe people don't understand what God was talking about. Fucking men going into fucking girls' bathrooms in a roundabout way, man. But it's there. Yeah. like I said, man. See that line right there? That line's gonna turn just like this shit, man. It's gonna turn all fucking milky, man. This is the cutoff point right here, man. Went all the way back this way and shit, man. All that, man. All that's this is it's just fucking. It's all fake, man. Well, it's not fake. It's real, but it's real fucking full of chemicals. I bet you. I ain't even look. I bet you there's a sundog, but it's not really a sundog. It'd be a chemical dog. Let's look. I ain't even look. Let's see, man. Oh, it's just starting. See, all that over here is all clear towards the north. It's just spraying in front of that sun, man. See, north. That's north. That's all clear. See, just spray right in front of that sun, man. I'm not. I'm not too sure yet of the percentage of the area that will spray, because there seems to me that more and more I keep investigating this for the years. Hang on a second. There's a certain percentage of coverage that they're doing in the sky. And what I mean by that is that they could spray a certain percentage of the air in the wind currents, upper wind currents, to take it and spread it throughout the atmosphere up there and shit, man. So they don't have to, spray large quantity areas anymore, man. They pretty much got it down packed, man. Because they remember the beginning and shit, man. They first started off and shit, man. They were doing checker patterns and shit, man. They were doing all kinds of crazy shit, man. No rhyme, no rhythm and shit, man. But it became so obvious and shit. They had to fine tune it and shit, even. And now it's pretty much like I said. It's it's blocking out the sun's rays, man. It's reducing the sun's rays, man. And the whole fucking thing to that is dimming the sun, the cooler, make the temperature cooler. And then you see there's other projects when they do certain lows and highs go through and shit. They'll spray to make it more rainable. Like usually up towards mountains and shit, they hit a lot, man. That's why you see up towards Redding and shit, man. A lot of damage being done and shit, man. But yeah, they'll do it during to make it rain more in some places and shit. And actually, they reverse it and make it rain less in certain areas too. People don't know that either, but it is what it is. See, and that's having an effect. I don't give a shit what they say. That have an effect on everything, man. The plants, the vegetations and shit, man, blocking out the sun like that, shit, man. Let nature be nature, man. Let whatever's gonna happen's gonna happen, man. You're not gonna stop this world from fluctuating, man. It's been doing it since the beginning of shit. It gets hot, it gets cold, it gets wet, it gets dry. It is what it is, man. Gets hit by asteroids, man. Gets full flip, man. This shit happens all the time and shit. It's nothing new to this planet, shit, man. To think that you're gonna stop something and shit, man. Nature, it's not gonna happen, man. And you know, you look at history, the pole flip, man. It's fact, man. It's happened numerous times, and each time the pole flips happen and shit, there's been mass extinction of life, man. You know, bada boom, bada bing. Same with asteroids, man. It's happened numerous times. Same with volcanoes, man. More in the earlier days and shit, man, when they were more active and shit, man. They would get four or five of them go off at the same time and shit and cause a nuclear winter and shit. But in your past history, it's been noted that that's happened. Cause a nuclear winter, cause a summer without or a summer without that wasn't there. It's all just winter and shit. Nothing grew and shit, man. It was so fucking cold. And that was caused just by them volcanoes going off. Nuclear winter. There goes my alarm system off again. Yeah, people up north, man, they getting some good fucking weather. They ain't getting no spray, no cloud. You know, well, it ain't clouds. It's just bullshit, man. I've got it up, and I noticed right away this morning and shit, man. Sun was just coming up, man. It wasn't even breaking the horizon yet. Shit, and I looked and I said, "Oh, here we go. We're gonna have one of these days, man." And sure enough, I can't still see the chats, man. Platform thing, it got me. It's got me. I keep trying, man, but it don't. It pops up as soon as I take my hand or try to read them and shit, man. It just fades out. But that's okay, man. I know you're out there. Yeah, pretty soon there'll be a chemical dog, man. I named that. You know how they named the polar vortex and shit and started naming winter storms and shit. I figure, well, hell, I'll just name a fucking chemical dog because it's not a rain dog. It's it's not for no humidity in there and shit, man. It's for what they're doing in the sky, man. What they're spraying. I call it a chemical dog. I coined it. They can coin shit, man. Polar vortex and fucking start naming winter storms and shit. See, people are already starting to get immune, get programmed into something that naming winter storms. It's already become like a norm, and shit, man. People don't even think nothing about it now. Yeah, now the summers here in the United States of America, because they have certain ways of attacking people's brain and shit by saying, "Oh, it's global warming," Well, that's during the winter or summertime, man. It's global warming. Look at it; it's getting so hot, during the summertime. And then come wintertime, oh, it's climate change. Look at how cold it's getting and shit. They try to help people's brain and shit, man. Global warming in the summer and climate change in the winter, man. Yeah, it's starting to get thicker, man. I don't even want to look, man. In fucking 13 years, I fucking watched this shit, man. I sat there and when I first got here and shit, they came to the house. They were doing an experiment, spraying that shit, you know, and they were spraying it for quite a few years, and then about 3 years, maybe a little bit longer, not sure now, but anyway, probably because of the shit they're spraying. It ain't got nothing to do with this, but anyway, they came by and well, first they sent something in the mail and shit, gave me like a $2 fucking bill and shit, man, asking if they could come to your house and ask you a bunch of health questions and shit, man. And the reason why is because what they were spraying and shit for all them years, and they were just spraying in this area, and they wanted to find out what people's health was, you know, were in this area and shit, man. And I knew from Jump Street what they were doing and shit, because, you know, I just am who I am. And I wanted to go around with the program, you know, and see exactly what they were going to ask and whatnot and shit, man. Yeah, I documented it, man. But I already knew what the fucking people's health was being like around here, man. I watched people after people after people either had heart attacks or strokes, man. Most of them were heart attacks, man. Yeah. But yeah, they try to try to bribe you with a $2 bill and shit. Ooh, I took it, I spent it. Fuck it, man. Thanks, you know. But yeah, they come to the house and shit, man. I didn't answer any questions and shit. I knew what they were doing. Then later on, they sent you some shit through the mail and wanted you to fill it out and shit, man. Well, your health shit, man. Yeah, but they were only doing it in this area because they were spraying for. It was a test fucking run, man. You know, we were the guinea pigs in this area. The first started this bullshit. Michigan got a lot of high and low pressures come through, man. Pretty much on a regular basis and shit, man. Plus, you got the Great Lakes and shit. No, yeah, during that period of time, man, they were setting off these. I sat there, I filmed all this shit, man. They were setting off fucking weather balloons and shit, man, fucking left and right, man. They had all kinds of fucking test fucking planes in there. They had helicopters in there, were testing the fucking air and shit. They had helicopters in there that were fucking imaging the town and the area and shit, man. I don't know if what they were spraying shit did something, man, to the ground and shit. I don't know what the fuck the purpose of the imaging was, man. But then again, there's a certain period of time and shit when Jay and Helm was going on. We had Northern Strike up here at the north, so that was the same thing as Jay and Helm, but on a smaller scale that people weren't really knowing about it. Fuck, they were shooting old schools, man. Fucking putting holes in them with these big fucking guns and shit, man. I think that was in Flint, Michigan. People freaked out, man. Had that Black Hawk helicopter fucking land. They had two of them land downtown Port Huron, and one hit one of the fucking buildings and shit, man. The overhangs and shit. Yeah, they literally hit it. And I was just at city council meeting a month or so before that, telling the city council they shouldn't allow any of these operations to happen in our township because something could happen. A helicopter could fall out of the fucking sky and hit somebody, you know? Yeah, I went to city council and told them, man, I wouldn't allow that shit, man. Fuck, they didn't listen, man. Fucking helicopter fucking hit that fucking building. Yeah, they landed all up in our town and shit, man. Took over the old fucking education building shit, man. Went in there, blew up a bunch of doors inside the building shit, man. Fucking they come out of a fucking helicopter and shit, man. Went in there and fucking did their exercise and y'all came out and got back on the helicopter shit, man. I mean, right fucking in your own city and shit, man. You know, it's like, wow, man. The one that got me the most though was the imaging and shit, man, of the whole town and shit, man. Because I just wonder how many people didn't pay attention to their cities and towns and see if they, the imaging and shit was going on there and shit, man. It wasn't to benefit us, man. The easy way in and out of town. No, I think it's the fucking ways of fuck. That's why you're starting to see all these roundabouts and shit, man. I don't know where you're at, shit, man, but they want to be popping up all of a sudden all over fucking boom, 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 certain areas, man. To keep you confined in that little fucking space, man, that little area, boom. You only need one fucking tank sitting at that fucking corner and shit, man. You're stopped. You're not going nowhere. All fucking designed that way, man. Get yourself fucking go to Google Map, man. Fucking, you got four ways or fucking roundabouts in your fucking cities and shit, man. Fucking pop them all up on the fucking map, and you'll see, man. That they're all stationed fucking position that fucking you cannot be traveling out of fucking that area and shit, man. Period, because they got it under control, man. Yeah, you'll see them popping up, man. You'll see them more and more and more, man. Nice day, man. Uh-oh. I didn't see what it says. Whatever. Don't matter anyway. Fucking any notice I get, shit don't relate to anything I give a shit about. I don't even know why they even bother, man. Yeah, but it turned out to be a nice day. I just wish they'd quit spraying. Sometimes, man, you sit there and you watch them spray all day long and shit, man, from fucking